Alright, what's up, guys? Back at it again with Captain Ryan Sullivan here with two Conchs. I'm Captain Travis Benson. This is episode 13 of the podcast, so appreciate you having us on there, Ryan.
Hey, absolutely appreciate you having me.
Yeah, man, no problem. We just kind of get straight into it. You know, we've been talking about some different things going on in the Keys, catch report, fishing, a little bit about Ryan and his story as well. So thanks for tuning in with us. But yeah, man, so recently what we've been doing is, fishing in the bay. We've been to reef, wrecks, that, type of fishing is still kind of what we've been getting into. It's nice if it's blowing a little bit out front. We can go out back and go for some different cobia. And what do you think's kind of good to target if you're in the bay or if you're on the reef?
Well,
this time of year,
especially weather permitting, it allow you to get into the mackerels and stuff like that as well. King mackerels showing up out there. The yellowtail snapper, that's pretty much current conditions. You're going to get into those, as well as the tunas and wahoo are showing up past the reef as well.
Yeah.
So they're biting pretty good, as long as you can find the right area, pulling the right bait. But other than that, I know that out in the Gulf, they're doing pretty well on those cobia showing up and just having a hard time with the sharks trying to beat them to the boat.
Right.
Seems like the stories I'm hearing, it's always, we had 1-2 inches, almost keeper, but the shark got it. And so,
that happens. You got to fight through the sharks, man. That's part of it.
That's true.
It's fun out there, man. In the bay, like Brian was saying, going after those cobias, you have, a variety of different baits. You can use live pinfish or squid, all different type of stuff out there. Jigs, which are good. And the reef is good, too, this time of year, like Ryan was saying, with the yellowtail. And there's been some kingfish showing up, too, out there. And wahoo, I don't know if you have any particular bait with the wahoo you like to use, or I know you got a nice one of those the other day I saw.
Yeah, well, see, we carry the Yozuris here at the Conchs shop, so I like to pull those, the artificials and stuff, running at anywhere from 8 to 11 knots. Running up higher in that speed kind of eliminates you from getting into those kingfish and barracudas, and more so targets the wahoo and tuna for that strike.
Yeah.
But yeah, the Yozuri Banditos are a great one. The Rapalas, those are another good one to have, a little diver and stuff set close to the boat as an extra attractant out there. But for the Yozuris and the Rapalas, I'm running them, anywhere from 120 yards back and in to the boat, just kind of keeping a tight little spread, and seeing the action happen from that has been worth it. So
yeah. That's pretty cool. Yeah, those wahoo fish are fun to target. They're great eating fish, fun to catch. And is there a kind of a depth that you've been staying in and around that's been good?
I've noticed more so around like that 180 to 300 foot. I've had a little bit better luck off of the wrecks and stuff like that. Obviously, it is the ocean. Any blind squirrel finds a nut. But ideally, if you're trying to be in a little bit more of a targeted area, I'd say around those wrecks and stuff in that depth of range.
Yeah. Cool, yeah. Those are fun fish, too. They should be, around later this month. And next month, that's kind of like a winter fishery, too, with the wahoo. So definitely get out there and try that. Also, we're going to chat with you a little bit about, I know you've been in the Keys for a little bit with two Conchs, and kind of your, just see what your story was. How'd you get down here? What do you like to fish for the most, and all that kind of fun stuff?
Well, let's see. I grew up coming down here 3 times a year with my grandpa when I was born, and he had a house in Little Torch, and kind of always grew up with him taking us to the reef or inside closer, because we were his grandkids, and the grandma didn't want us pushing out past that, so we didn't really get to experience that. But the yellowtail snapper, mangrove snappers, mutton snappers is something I kind of grew up doing with my grandpa. And then 11 years ago, I decided to make the full-time move down here, and have been down here 11 years. And past 8, I've been a charter captain. Past 7, I've been with two Conchs. 7 wonderful years. And the fun thing about it is, I think you'd agree with, is any day we go out on that ocean is like a new day for us, because we never know what to expect, and we just try to do our best. And yeah, that's one of the things that I've really come to realize and love about this job and this place.
Yeah. That's true, man. It's a cool experience for sure. Being out there, you never know what you're going to catch or what you're going to see. You know, you can kind of go after one target species, or you got a game plan for one day, and then that could change, you know, halfway through it, depending on
the weather changing.
Conditions. Maybe you see, you know, you get a hot bite report from one of your buddies, you know. So it's always good to kind of be flexible, but that's what's fun about, you know, being down here for sure. And, you know, thanks for telling us a little bit about, you know, that. I know now it's not quite the time, but I know you're big into like snowy grouper fishing too. That's your thing. Yeah. If you want to tell us a little bit about that, or how you got into that, or got real good at doing that.
Well, it was one of those things where I kind of realized with going offshore all the time and going for the mahi and tuna that I never really opened my mind to that species of fish, and that there's so many other species down on the bottom out at that depth. You know, I typically tend to target them anywhere from 500 feet and deeper. Around that 500-foot range, I start looking for ledges, drop-offs, you know, little peaks and stuff like that. And my favorite thing to do is you cover so much more of a fishery when you allow yourself to go for mahi, tuna, and you allow that deep drop portion of the trip, because then you're able to harvest a chance for a snowy grouper. Meanwhile, you're catching your blue line tile fish, your golden tiles, your yellow edge grouper, black belly rosefish. It's like I was just saying, there's so many other species out there that people aren't really aware of because they focus on the mahi and tuna.
Right, they pass over all those other ones.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Snowy grouper, I'll tell you, come May 1st, that's when I make sure I get one in my freezer right away for the season.
Yeah, that's cool, man. That's a cool fishery. And those you're using typically electric spinner reels for that, because it's deeper, right?
Yeah, unless you have that, you know, extreme strength and endurance, you're looking, like I said, starting out at 500 foot with anywhere from 2 to 8 pound lead stick attached to the bottom with upwards of a 60-pound grouper. That fight, after a while, you have to stay consistent with the reeling, because as soon as you slow down, that fish runs the option and risk of being able to pop off the hook or anything like that. So the first one I ever did was by hand.
Yeah, that is crazy by hand, or something might eat them on the way up, or you never know.
When I got back to shore, I immediately came to the shop and bought my electric reel, and ever since then I've just upgraded electric reel after electric reel with what's coming out in the market, and it has been a tremendous difference in my catch ratio.
Yeah. Just with the right gear.
Yeah, get the right gear, right tackle. And
what'd you kind of start off with as far as, you know,
my starter
earlier
set?
Ones, and then you kind of progressed.
Yeah, well, my first one I ever did, like I said, by hand was the original convention was a Penn 50 wide, and then I ended up immediately coming in and buying the Tanacom 1000, the Daiwa, which I don't know, I'm sure you've seen. They came out with the 1200 now, but after using that one for a little while, I right away saw that they had the Shimano Beastmaster 9000A out, so I upgraded to that, and I've been very pleased with that one ever since. My next step's going to be the LP, just because, once again, I'm out there to harvest meat and get my clients on fish and stuff. So any way I can make that a better option and chance for them, I'm willing to do.
Heck yeah. And with the rod, you use the regular straight rods? You use the bent butt adjustable ones? Or
I like the bent butt. The adjustables are very nice, just for when you have that person who is able to pull the rod out of the rod holder and more so hands-on with it and wants to get a little more involved. But the same aspect for that bent butt. Once again, if you're just trying to harvest the fish, you get the gimbal swivel and the rod holder, which allow that fish to swing with the boat and stuff, and that way when you get him up, he's right at the side of the boat.
Right, makes it kind of easier to maneuver the fish and the weight, get the weight off and everything. Yeah,
absolutely.
That's cool. Yeah, no, I'm looking forward to doing that. You know, coming up here too, that deep drop, and it's wild out there.
We're gonna have to get out there together.
Yeah, man, we'll do it for sure, man. But yeah, besides that, you know, the fishing's still been good. If you guys definitely want to book a charter with us, you know, Captain Ryan, you know, he can take you out. You know, or myself, we can get you guys out there for sure. Just, you know, you can DM us or go on the Conchs website. And besides that, we've had some other stuff, you know, going on. We've been cruising around Miami a little bit. Some of the guys, JC and some of them, Tucker. And
Heard you guys had a great time up there.
we've been having fun up there, man. We've been they rented some cars and drove around, did some filming for the show, and we have the 39 up there as well. So if you guys want to fish out of there, you're welcome to it. But yeah, we had a good time in South Beach. So
Nice.
besides that, we're just kind of getting into the swing of things. This is our busy season coming up,
Yep.
so it's gonna get real busy. But I'm definitely gonna keep the podcast going and try to go ahead and provide you guys with fishing reports, what's going on and everything like that. So if you like the podcast, if you have any questions, you can DM us or like and comment and share, and we'll definitely keep it going. You can check out the podcast on YouTube or Spotify as well. So besides that, man, appreciate you, Ryan.
Hey, thank you for having me, man.
All right,
Appreciate
man.
it.
Tight lines. We'll do it again soon.
Sounds